Hello Sumit, welcome to another tutorial. I'll be learning how to make this closure in this video, corset closure. The first thing you need to do is to get your material. So we're just going to be measuring how we want it. Now, the first guide is on the upper part, on the chest line, the part that will rest on the chest line. Whatsoever inches you decide to use, but the standard starts from 8. But I will be using 9 in this video because I did back spacing for my back pattern. For the back of the corset I'm working on, I did back spacing. So you can decide to use 8 inches. It depends on how wide the person you're working with is. You can decide to use 10 inches. You can decide to even use more, but when it's too much, it's just going to gather on your dress. It will not be nice. So the standard is 8, but I'm using 9 because I did back spacing. So whatsoever you got from the up, you minus 2 inches from it to get the down. You can see I'm marking 7 at the down part. So now to determine the length of your closure, you have to get, from my chest line, 8 inches is already gone. So if I want my closure to rest on my waistline, I will be having like 7 inches for the length of the distance plus 1 inch for this thing for turning, right? So that will give me 8. But here now, I want to work with 11 inches because I want it 2 inches lower than my waistline. So that's why I'm using 11. I'm meant to use 10, but I'm using 11 because I will use half inch to turn the upper part, and I will also use half inch to turn the lower part. And I hope you understand. Don't forget, whatsoever measurement you're using for the top part of your closure, minus 2 inches from it to get the lower part of it. That's just the standard on how to get it. And please make sure the width of your closure is not too much. If it's too much, it's just going to bulge at the side of your gown and it will not be fine. So after that, you connect with your ruler like I did and cut out. Don't forget that I'm using 11 inches because I want mine to be lower 2 inches from my waistline. So the 11 inches I'm using, I'll use 1 inch to run and I'll be left with 10 inches for the length, right? So another thing that is very important in making a closure is your stay. You can decide to use paper stay or hay stay, but I'm working with a velvet and you know how it can be, so I prefer to use my hay stay to give it this firmness, to make it more easy to work on. So I'll go and iron my stay on it. As you can see, I've already ironed my stay on it. So the next thing now is to put the two together and turn it round. I'll place it on top of each other, turn it round. And when you're turning it, make sure you leave a hole, a very small hole that we use to turn it to the other side. Then you run your stitches through it. So after that, this is my back, the both side of the back and this thing. Now don't forget that your closure is meant to be attached to to the left side of your back. You put it at the left side, then it's now going to come from the left to the right. It is from the left to the right. So if you are attaching it to the left side of whatsoever you're working on, whether a gown or a blouse. You are attaching it from the left. Don't forget, I'm laying emphasis on it because that's how it's done. You attach it from the left, so it moves from the left to the right side of your dress. So the next thing I would do now, I didn't have the mind of adding a closure to it, but I'm not always comfortable opening my back. I have a corset without a closure that I'm not comfortable wearing. So the next thing now is to lose this place. You see, I've already sewn it. Now it will be better for you to just put this closure on the left side of the lining before you use your lining to turn the material. Is way easier that way. So after that, the next thing you have to do come down from the chest line, come down by 1 inch, because if you fix it exactly to the chest line, it's going to pop up. By the time you wear it, you will see your closure, it will be jumping up. So you have to come down by 1 inch so that it can relax and fit in well. So that's what I'm trying to show. So I've loosened it. Don't forget, when you are attaching the closure to the lining part, it is the straight part you're sewing. You know, one part is slanted. Hope you know, one part is slanted because of the 7 and 9 inches stuff we did. So one part is slanted. So when you're attaching it, make sure you're attaching the straight part to it, because it is that slanted part that needs to extend to the other side by the time you put it on. So you just put it and turn it with the lining. Put it in between the way I'm placing it. Pick the lining and run your straight stitches, and that's all you need to do. Please, if you find my video helpful, don't forget to like, share and comment, as I will be dropping more videos, more tutorials for us. So you just place it this way and run it through, and after running it through, you flip it over, and that's all that is needed. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please comment and share. Thank you.